Hi, Christian. Welcome in. Guys, just a reminder, if you have a question, go ahead and put your hand up. Lowell, we'll start off with you, and then we'll go to Carol.
Hi, Lowell Rose from WBTV News. I have more of a local concern. I know the past few matches in Charlotte, they either had rain delays or rained out or postponed. Notice that with so much, the coach can't answer about that. But what's your message to fans, and are there any chances there could be policy changes about where fans wait?
Sorry, say it again. I didn't understand, Lowell. The message to the fans regarding
weather delays when fans have to wait outside the stadium or bowl, like we saw this past weekend. I know there's not so much you can do, but what's your message to the fans, and is there any way something could be changed?
Regarding the organization of the stadium, this is not my area of expertise, so I don't think I can really teach anything to anybody that is organizing this kind of things. But my message to the fans is they've been great, very patient. We also had a good atmosphere, even though the game was delayed for indefinitely, and it took a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, a lot of resilience to keep staying in the stadium, and we were very grateful to play in front of that crowd that was staying. We can understand also the one that decided to move on. It wasn't easy. It was a difficult night for everybody involved. We were trying to keep everybody motivated, but the players were really, I can tell you that to the fans, that the players were really determined to go with an extra gear for them, especially because they were showing so much passion and resilience under very difficult circumstances. So all the players were very aware of them, and they wanted to show that in the game.
Carol, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how did that affect your week? Having all the players there so late on Saturday night.
Yeah, we had to rethink a little bit but we had a plan B in any case, because these things can happen. And the most important thing for us is to be ready for every situation that can arise. We have a good performance department that we can talk openly and try to get the best option for the boys that responded well. We had different plans, and we were ready basically for every situation that could arise.
Okay. And one more just about Sergio Ruiz was not on the roster. Can you give us an update on what's going on with him?
With Sergio, the situation is that there are different talks at this stage of the season we are looking at the situation, how that evolves, and we want to do the best for the club and for the players at the same time. So we took a decision that we thought that was the best for the club and everybody at the time. So he's trained well, and he has been acting really professionally. Part of the team. He trained again today. So
is that do you keep him out of the game just in case something happens, or is it look like something's definitely going to happen at this point?
Carol, I'm the coach. I'm not the one that makes the deal happen, and so I just have to sometimes play by ear and to get to understand what is the best for the club and for the team. And if I think that there is something that can happen, and I want to have everybody in the best frame of mind. But regarding Sergio has always been very positive and give the availability. And in the end, it's my decision, so I will take the full responsibility of it.
Thank you. Sorry about the craziness going on here.
Antonio.
Hi, Christian. Continuing with Carol's question, how difficult has been for you to prepare 3 games in 8 days, although you didn't play last weekend against Crew? Did that kind of help you getting the guys an extra day of resting, maybe?
Ideally, we wanted to play because we prepared the game and we were ready. And as we said before, in the previous press conference, we knew that Columbus was a good team in a good moment, well organized, well coached, very good players. And so I think it was 16 minutes, it was quite fierce. They had chances, we had chances, and it looked like a very exciting game. So ideally, we wanted to go on and play. Then after, we try to get the best out of everything. It's not easy, but not just for me, for everybody that is in the same position. Sometimes in MLS, and not just in MLS, it happens that you have to prepare 3 games in 8 days. You just have to be prepared. Have plan A, plan B, plan C, because nobody expected the game. I've never been in a position where the game was actually rescheduled. I've been in a position where the game was delayed. I've been in a position where the game was stopped and then restarted, but never in a position where it was actually delayed, stopped, and then abandoned. So we needed to make sure during the time that things were happening that we were designing plan B and plan C with everybody included, the club, the performance department, the coaching staff, and the players were kept informed.
Perfect. And just to double check with you, Fuchs is available tomorrow, right? Because the match versus Crew already counted like a suspension game for him, right?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of talks going on with MLS as well as internally to understand a certain rulings, how the roster get effective, get frozen for the game. So our understanding and the confirmation we got from MLS is that Christian Fuchs' suspension was served and will be served in the rematch, so that from tomorrow, is available to play.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sam, go ahead.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Coach. So
Hi,
obviously, the last game, regulation game, we had the 4-0 result against Toronto. The less said about that, the better. DC United, of course, is a step below them on the table. And then later this week, of course, Chicago is right in the mix of playoff. Based on the playoff math, most of the prognosticators and all of us out here think Charlotte really needs to do well on what's left of this home stretch to keep playoff chances alive. So how is the team preparing for these games? And do you consider, either the DC or the Chicago Fire game a must win?
Yeah, these are very important games for us. There's no getting away from that, but every game from now on is very important. And I know sometimes it sounds a bit of a cliche that, we have games that they are like finals for us, but they are in the sense that we have to prepare one game at a time, not to go ahead of ourselves. We have a process in place that we work with the boys on a daily basis to improve all the aspects of the game. And each step, each day that we work together, we should see improvement. So the next 2 games, but then all the next games are very, very important. And we want to see the players and the team improving, keep this improvement. We had that, that result in Toronto that obviously made us very unhappy for a number of reasons, but I think it's one of those games in which many things went against us. And I think that the score didn't reflect the actual game, but sometimes it happens, you have to put it behind you and just move on and focus on the next game, as we did against Columbus. As you could see, the boys were ready to respond and to go toe-to-toe with probably one of the most informed teams that in MLS. And then we want to carry on this determination in the next game starting from tomorrow.
Thank you. And my last one, you know, even though we only got to see 16, 17 minutes on Saturday, what was interesting to me was that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but McNeil and Bender started in the midfield together for the first time. What went into that decision, and you know, what is it? How do you balance, you know, two relatively young, relatively new players like Bender and McNeil with folks like you know, Brandt, who are you know, big, more experienced leaders on the team? What do you think the different components of the midfield we're bringing to the match in that combination, that, and hopefully we get to see this match at some point?
Yeah, the idea behind that is that, first of all, we can see on training on a daily basis how they play, the form. And I think that this club is blessed with the young talents. And I would mention also Jordi Alcivar, that is improving in training on a daily basis as well. So we have a number of young midfielders that bring energy, bring a certain amount of quality. They lack, of course, experience because of the age, but they understand how the way we want to play. And even if in the 16 minutes, like some you said, they played against Nagbe. Morris also is a young midfielder, but the midfield three for Columbus is Zela Rayan, which is one of the best offensive midfielders in the league. Nagbe, we know how good he is, and he won 3 times the MLS with 3 different teams. And then Morris, but I think Brandt, Ben, and Quinn hold their own against them. And they bring this kind of energy, this understanding. And I think that they will be better and better, our boys, going forward.
Great. And just a really quick one. As you know, a lot of the top flight European leagues start play this weekend. Is there any team in Europe or in any of the other leagues you watch religiously?
That I watch religiously?
Yeah.
I tend to watch different leagues, different teams. Obviously, you always keep an eye on the previous clubs you work with, because of also an emotional side that you develop with them. But no, I like to watch a number of teams and how they develop, and to see. I like to watch Premier League. I like to watch Serie A. I like to watch Bundesliga. I like to watch Spanish Liga and the Liga. So these are my favorite, personally, my favorite leagues in Europe. And there are certain clubs that I like to see, because I think that especially the top teams, they send a trend on how football is played. And I think more so in the top leagues and in Champions League, you see the main trend tactically, how football is played at the highest level in 2022.
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, Mike.
Thanks very much. Good afternoon, Christian. Kind of following up on that, as you say, you're watching all these other leagues to kind of keep an eye on things. Are you, as a coach, looking to, I don't know, maybe steal an idea from this group or steal an idea from another group to try to implement it if it kind of fits how you see your club?
Mike, every coach does that in every sport. Because we all are stealers of ideas, and in the end, it's important that you have your own style and your methodology and your own, philosophy on the way you want to play, you develop your football. In our case, and then of course, football is like everything in life, is something that evolves. So even football in 2022 is not, even if you look at Champions League in 2022 is not the same that you used to see in 2018, for example. Things move on, trends they get, especially now with so many professionals in the game, so many analysts, so many coaches, so many specific coaches. More and more, you can see that there are specific coaches in set pieces, in developing certain aspects of the game. So football is constantly evolving, and I think our job is also to keep an eye on how football evolves, so that we can be up to date with the trends, and so that the boys get the same kind of information that they would get if they were in the teams. I think it's so important for everybody's development, and I think we are no different from everybody else, and so we keep an eye on the top leagues, on the top clubs, and to see what trends are worthwhile or what nuances are worthwhile to implement.
Looking ahead to DC United, what have you seen from them recently in the film study that you've done to give yourselves the best chance on Wednesday night?
Yeah, very interesting team, very interesting. Also, I don't know if you saw the last game they played against Orlando, also how they want to involve the goalkeeper in the build-up very high on the pitch. Certain rotation that they do when they start the building up. So we saw a number of things, a number of things that I think Wayne is trying to bring into his team rightly, because I think it's he has been a top player and he has been working at the highest level in the highest clubs. So he knows, and he has been the coach for some time now. So I believe he has very clear the way he wants his team to play. And I could see already a couple of things that he tried to implement to his team, and they are quite interesting ideas.
Well, last one for me, getting back to your thought about how the remaining games on the schedule are all important and you kind of go one by one. Is this a good thing for a young side to feel as you continue to build and develop the character and the culture of this team? Because, essentially you feels like you're playing playoff games right now to make it into the playoffs. Is this something that can help your guys overall, especially the young guys, kind of grow and mature maybe a little bit quicker, and as they build forward, as this club builds forward into the rest of this season and the future?
Yeah, I think this is a conversation that we had a lot with the boys, and we need to be able to deal with pressure because it's part of the job, and the pressure comes from getting results, but the results always originates from the way we want to play. So always our number one priority is us, how we are developing, how we are growing on a daily basis in the phases of the play that we want to play and we want to improve. So our number one priority is always us. But as we become more familiar with what we want to do, more fluid, and we starting to implement a couple of things also against Columbus that maybe some people could see, maybe not, but I was quite happy about a couple of things and to see how the boys are developing another part of our game. And so, yes, I would agree with that, Sam, and I think that that will make our boys become better. And that kind of pressure, I think, is healthy, and we need to be able to deal with that, especially when we will play away from home.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Final question to John.
Christian, with the fact that you've had a bit of a congested fixture list, you had a game last week, you have the game against Columbus that was called off, and now you have a game again tomorrow. Do you feel like because you just played 17 minutes against Columbus before the game was called off, do you feel like maybe you were thinking of rotating the squad in a certain way had the game been played fully, and now you can bring back some players you weren't going to maybe play tomorrow, or are you going to maybe make the same changes you were planning on making anyway?
I'm not going to announce the starting 11 now, John.
Okay.
So, because you could be Wayne Rooney for as much as I know in disguise. No, but listen, I think we have a squad here that I'm happy with, and I think that everybody can play a part. So, you know, I think that those games, even if they come in a short sequence, will give players an opportunity, and I have no problem in giving players that they are training well, that they put you know, an effort on a daily basis in training, to give them an opportunity, because they deserve it. The way they train on and they are quite used to play together in a different combination and in different formation that we try. I like to mix, as I said in the past. So for this reason, because I want everybody to have repetition in their own position, next to players that they might change, but so that the midfielders, they're clear about what they do, the defenders the same, the fullbacks, the wingers, the center forward. So I'm happy to rotate in the way that I think that the team will be in the best position to play the strongest game.
All right, we'll finish there. Christian, thanks for your time. Everyone will have this video syndicated out in our match preview release. As usual, just reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Coach.
People.